Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we dive into a major news update that has sparked controversy and concern across the nation. Sensitive personal information, including social security numbers, was revealed in the newly unredacted John F. Kennedy assassination documents released this week. This breach of privacy has left many affected individuals outraged and demanding answers. Among those impacted is Joseph DeGenova, a former campaign lawyer for President Donald Trump. DeGenova's personal information was disclosed in the documents, and he is now planning to sue the U.S. National Archives and Records Administration for violating privacy laws. In a phone interview on Thursday, DeGenova expressed his frustration, stating, "It should not have happened. I think it's the result of incompetent people doing the reviewing. I don't believe it had anything to do with rushing the process. The people who reviewed these documents did not do their job." His information was tied to his work for a U.S. Senate Select Committee in the 1970s, which investigated abuses of power by government officials, including the surveillance of U.S. citizens. In response to the breach, White House officials announced on Thursday that a plan is in place to assist those affected. This includes credit monitoring offered by the National Archives until new Social Security numbers are issued. Officials are also continuing to screen the records to identify all the Social Security numbers that were inadvertently released. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt emphasized President Trump's commitment to transparency, stating, "President Trump delivered on his promise of maximum transparency by fully releasing the files related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy." At the request of the White House, the National Archives and the Social Security Administration immediately put together an action plan to proactively help individuals whose personal information was released in the files. The National Archives also released a statement, acknowledging the oversight. In an effort to maximize transparency, these records were released without redactions, and some of these records contain the personal identification information of living individuals. The National Archives and Records Administration and the Social Security Administration are working closely together to protect the individuals who may be affected from their information being exploited. The statement urged those whose information was disclosed to contact the National Archives directly. However, neither the White House nor the National Archives has provided a clear explanation for the decision-making process behind the public release of this sensitive information. President Trump ordered the release of the remaining classified files related to the 1963 assassination shortly after taking office in January. On Tuesday evening, approximately 2,200 files, consisting of over 63,000 pages, were posted on the National Archives website. Many of these pages contained previously redacted information, the vast majority of the National Archives' more than 6 million pages, including records, photographs, motion pictures, sound recordings, and artifacts related to the assassination, had already been released prior to this week. However, the newly unredacted documents have shed light on covert Cold War-era U.S. operations in other nations. While they provide additional historical context, they do not initially support conspiracy theories surrounding Kennedy's assassination. One of the newly unredacted documents, for example, discloses the Social Security numbers of more than 24 individuals who sought security clearances in the 1990s to review JFK-related documents for the Assassination Records Review Board. Gerald Posner, author of Case Closed, a book that concludes Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in the assassination, criticized the rushed release of the documents. "I know that people will probably shake their head if they hear that, because how could they be rushing in after 62 years? It's a lot of documents. It's a lot of files. The archives in the past has provided a sort of search guide. This time, they didn't have that," Posner explained on Thursday. James Jesus Angleton, the CIA's counterintelligence chief from 1954 to 1974, is among the figures mentioned in the newly released documents. The National Archives began screening the documents on Wednesday to identify all the Social Security numbers in the assassination records. According to the White House, the National Archives will share these numbers with the Social Security Administration, which will then identify living individuals and issue them new Social Security numbers. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy remains one of the most pivotal moments in American history. On November 22, 1963, Kennedy was killed during a visit to Dallas. As his motorcade neared the end of its parade route downtown, shots rang out from the Texas School Book Depository building. Police arrested 24-year-old Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine who had positioned himself on the 6th floor of the building. 2 days later, nightclub owner Jack Ruby fatally shot Oswald during a jail transfer, an event that was broadcast live on television. The release of these documents has reignited public interest in the Kennedy assassination, but it has also raised serious concerns about privacy and government transparency. As the National Archives works to address the fallout, many are left wondering how such a breach could occur in the first place. Thank you for watching Fresh Talk News Channel. If you found this report informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more breaking news and in-depth updates. Stay informed, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.